Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of Curveball the podcast with my very special guest, Kayleigh Fake Hewitt. No, I'm joking. But today's episode is all about reality TV. I've never done any reality TV, so I really don't have anything to tell you. Kayleigh, however, has done 3 different shows and we're going to dive into them. One of them was Love Island. It's so juicy, I can't even begin to tell you.
PSD's kicking in already.
Strap in, it's a good episode.
Yeah, it's a naughty
Kayleigh.
episode.
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you for having me.
You're looking very snazzy today.
Have you seen Rivals?
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I feel like. Rivals is on Disney and it's like 80s broadcaster.
What's the main guy in that called? The sexy one? What's his character's name?
He's beautiful. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's not a bit of me, is he, guys? Let's be honest. I was obsessed with him by the end of it.
I was obsessed with him. He is good. Yeah.
Weird.
Do you know what? I'll just say.
Giving daddy issues.
Yeah. It's. I mean, he as well because I don't want to spoil it, but how he with the younger girl, you know.
Yeah, it's giving daddy issues.
Don't gonna give it. It's a great TV show.
Brilliant.
But yeah, that's my vibe today. I'm going like 80s vibe.
Reality
90s.
TV.
Yes, yeah.
We're going to dive straight into this because honestly, it's so juicy. When we did the production meeting for this, I was like, what? No way. Oh my God.
It is a bit naughty.
So, what is the first ever reality show that you did? How did you get into it? Why did you want to be on a reality show? Start from the start.
Can I just say, I didn't actually want to be on a reality TV show. I was, modelling. I feel like sometimes comes part and parcel with the modelling.
It does. We get a lot of emails saying, do you want to apply for this show?
Do you want to apply for the show?
Yeah.
You're perfect for this show. Are you single? Reoccurring little theme here, Are you single? Yes. So the first one I did was Take Me Out.
Take me out.
I was the really tall northern girl at the end on series 6.
My favourite thing about this is Kayleigh told me she was on Take Me Out and I was like, oh my God, I don't remember this, not seen it. Then she showed me the clip and I was like, I remember that girl. That's not you.
Kayleigh down the end here. Now, you've been down to the last 2 a few times. Are you feeling lucky tonight?
I am. I've got my lucky red dress on.
Okay, and you're a WrestleMania fan.
A little obsessed with The Rock.
So is that the kind of man you want coming out tonight? You like big, muscle?
Oh, yeah, obviously a big, tall, muscles, got to have a bit of manly side, definitely.
So tell me about your Take Me Out experience. Was it fun?
Take Me Out was honestly one of the funniest experiences I think I've ever had. So if you've never watched Take Me Out was a show with the host, Paddy McGuinness. Yes. Absolute legend. Love that guy, by the way. He was fantastic.
No likey.
No likey.
Okay, so he's a nice guy, because I've heard mixed things like you do about everyone in television.
Oh, really? Have you?
Was he nice?
A great guy.
Really?
Great host. It was so lovely to all the girls.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, you've got 30 girls.
It's a lot.
On a set. Going onto the show, that wasn't just the only girls that were there. You had extras that were coming in because every night there was 4 girls potentially leaving.
Yeah.
So there was like a recurring number of women.
Conveyor belt.
Basically, a conveyor belt of girls.
And did you all live in a
women.
house together?
No,
Okay.
we all had a hotel that we all lived in for 2 weeks at a time.
Wow.
It was incredible. I think we only had a couple of days in between where we weren't filming. We were filming 5-6 days a week, getting it right. And rehearsals, we were starting at like 7 a.m. and finishing at 11 p.m. every night. It was really hardcore, and it was back-to-back filming. So, you were going in for rehearsals, and then you go in for your hair and makeup, then you go in for hair and makeup rehearsals, then you get it done again.
You did have hair and makeup. I say that with
Why
love.
are you asking that question?
You need to see the clip. So someone did that to you?
Yes, they did. Back then, 10 years ago, right, it was fully glam, right? You're thinking the head, aren't
Your
you?
hair.
I had a Vicky Patterson hairpiece in at one
Oh,
time.
I love that. We love Vicky Patterson.
We do love Vicky Patterson.
But
so.
not that hairpiece. It's very Geordie Shore.
It was very Geordie Shore.
Okay.
I was very glam.
Yeah.
Very glam. And remember back then, I was coming from a little pageant world. So I was, pageant pretty, big hair. Very similar to this actually right now. I'll show you. My pretty hair.
And you got selected for a date on the very last episode. Was that intentional?
No, it wasn't. I'll tell you this straight away. I actually came forward on the first ever episode. But the first one, there was a guy that came down, and I always remember it very clearly.
What was his name?
Adam. He was called. And I was like, do you know what, sod it, I am here to have fun or whatever. I don't care if I'm staying. I won't really do it. Even though you say it's for publicity, like, how much work are you going to get from something like
Especially
that?
back then, because there wasn't social media in the way there is now. So if you did Take Me Out 10 years ago, there wasn't really much that was going to come off it.
Just a few lads' mags, which I got anyway. So there we go,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a guy called Adam. And right at the end, it was like, it was between me and another girl. And I always remember this question. And they kind of say, oh, bombshell, one of these girls has,
yes.
you know, done something. So
What was it?
It was one of these girls used to date a Sheffield United football player.
Oh, no.
So obviously...
Hang on, have you dated a Sheffield United football player?
No, it was Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, that makes
Wednesday
it better.
night. Come on.
I don't know why I'm saying that, because I did used to date a Sheffield United football player.
Oh, yeah, of course. God, we could have been friends a long time ago.
I love
Well,
how I
glad
always
we met
judge
in
you, and then I'm like, oh, wait, I did that.
Your ex-boyfriend was like long-term as well, by the way, United
We
player.
listen and we don't judge.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Anyway, back to you.
So sick. That's hilarious, that. God, we could have been wags. Thank God we were.
Oh, thank
no
the
offense.
Lord.
No offense.
No offence.
To them
So-
people. But anyway, so he, you know, he buzzed
He
me
thought
out.
it was you.
So he buzzed me out. But then, yeah, they said after, Paddy was like, yeah, we can confirm Kayleigh was the one who dated the Sheffield United football player. And you could tell by my face when they were filming, I was like,
News to me.
it wasn't me. I don't know where they got that information, but it weren't correct anyway.
This
But anyway.
is a really important thing to note, and probably the biggest reason I've never done reality TV, because you can be the loveliest, most wholesome, most amazing person ever, and if
Yeah.
they want to build your character into a villain, they're going to.
Absolutely, yeah.
You have no say over how you will be perceived. Like, you didn't get to stand up then and say, hang on, that's a lie, production have made that up. They paint you however they want to paint you.
Exactly. I mean, my face said it all. It
Yeah.
was definitely a Sheffield Wednesday, guys. Come on.
So-
But yeah, so I did. It wasn't that I was trying to stay on at all. And then as we went through the different episodes, so you remember like every single night. So we're seeing 4 guys every night, and it's tiring. It's tiring. But back then, I was like 22, 23-year-old spring chicken. I do not know where some of the things that I came out with, where they came from. Because I'm not going to lie, I did get quite a lot of TV time.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
this
'cause
was
you
how
were
it's coming out.
hilarious.
I was really funny.
You still are.
Oh, thank you.
But you were
I was
hilarious
really
and
funny then.
unfiltered and
Yeah.
not thinking about what other people thought of you, and just, oh my God, it's
didn't give
absolutely
a fuck,
brilliant.
yeah.
So we got to the end of the season.
Yeah, we got to the end,
And it
and-
was season 6, episode 8 that Kayleigh was on.
My lovely guy was a guy called Vincent.
So Vincent comes down in the lift.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he
Yeah.
says, hi girls, I'm Vincent.
Hey girls, good evening. My name is Vincent and I'm from London.
What did you like about Vincent?
His energy was great.
Or was it just because he was the last guy?
No, I was like, genuinely, I need a fucking holiday. I need energy.
Right, okay.
Like, that energy, I was like, yeah, he sounds like fun. Keep on.
Because if you win the date, you go on holiday to Tenerife.
Yeah, he
Yes.
goes to Tenerife. That is where Fernando's is.
So Vincent picks you.
Vincent picked me. Oh my God, I remember the question as well. It was, if you could be any sort of wine, what would it be?
Any sort of
Wine,
wine. What was your answer?
champagne, because if you pick me, I know you've got good taste.
Oh, wow.
Champagne, darling, that's wine, isn't it? Champagne?
It is.
Because I'll know that you've got good taste if you pick me tonight.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Was that pre-rehearsed?
Nope.
They weren't so you had to come up with that line on the
You had to
spot.
come up
Oh, I never would have got a date. My brain doesn't work like that.
I don't know how, mine wouldn't now. I'd be like, I don't know where it came from.
Champagne, because if you pick me, you've got good taste.
Because it's champagne, darling. Like the cocktail. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, God.
Anyway, yeah, so we went off to Fernando's.
Yes.
I had a great date, actually. We had a right laugh.
I
apart
mean,
from-
it didn't look like it on the clip that I've seen, because he seemed like, I mean, lovely guy,
Yeah.
but he was a character.
Yeah, he's such a
Like,
character.
he threw a champagne bottle over his head at dinner into the pool. There was just lots of things where I was like, this is a bit much.
I find it very attractive for a guy to make me laugh, and Vincent did make me laugh tonight.
Come on, guys. Come for dinner. We got spare tapas. It's gonna be good. Kenny was laughing quite a lot during dinner. I think we really hit it off. Let's just put this in the ice bucket and get rid of this.
Okay, somebody that makes me laugh that much, you know, I am intrigued, and I would like to, you know, find out more about him.
I do love a character.
Yeah, true.
But we went on a boat, and if you know me well, which most of you will not, I am extremely seasick.
And you jumped in,
I jumped in,
belly flop,
belly flops,
swallowed half the sea, and then
swallowed too much water, got back on the boat and was sick.
No girls have ever been sick on a first date. Usually it's the second date. There you go, some water.
It was really embarrassing, actually. He was very caring, though, which was sweet.
They promised me, the producers, that they wouldn't show it.
they definitely showed
They
it.
showed it, and I am basically on the boat, just being sick.
But overall, how was that experience?
Fantastic. We had such a great experience. I mean, after was a bit weird. Like, everyone got really drunk and everyone started fighting in the bars and stuff. And it was,
In Tenerife?
yeah, some of the other contestant, well, another contestant, it was an absolute bell end, I had, was a wrestler guy, and we just started chucking furniture around. Yeah, it was really fucking disgusting, actually, behaviour. So, presuming he's never done TV again. I mean, he was a wrestler, but there's no need to be chucking furniture around on in Tenerife.
No.
In Lineker's.
Absolutely
It was
not.
very weird. But the whole
In Lineker's?
Yeah, Lineker's bar in Tenerife. You've been there, you know what I mean? Yeah.
If you've never been to a Lineker's, you've not lived.
I
The
mean-
only Lineker's I've been to was in Ibiza, and it was...
But it's like that in Tenerife, it's exactly the same.
Brilliant.
But the whole experience, can I say, it was fucking amazing. When it came out, I was just moving to London with two of my best friends.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls that lived in London and the girls that didn't live in London used to come up every single week. So we had the girls either round at my house, in the new house in London, which was amazing, or like a bar or a party. For 8 weeks, us girls got together, and it was honestly such a great time to be alive.
That's so
like,
special.
You know, early 20s, just living life in London, single, all the girls together. We had so many lovely experiences, and I still speak to some of the girls now.
Sorry, I've just had a thought that they should bring Take Me Out back, and you should be on it. Take Me Out production, if you're watching this, let's get Kayleigh on it again. I'm coming to watch every week. Would you do it?
No.
Would you not?
No.
You would, I'd make you.
I could not go and Take Me Out 10 years later, still single. Like that, not that, you know, I love being single, I do, but like that's a bit tragic, right?
I think it'd be brilliant.
I'd be a better co-host.
Oh yeah, Kayleigh could host Take
With
Me Out.
Paddy.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so Take Me Out was an incredible experience.
Yeah, it was. It was
and
a
that
really good experience.
probably why you felt empowered to do another reality TV show in the form of none other than Love Island.
Yeah.
And this could have been such a pivotal moment in your career. And I'm a firm believer that everything happens in a reason, for a reason. I don't think we'd be sat here together doing this had you been on that season of Love Island and taken off. You had a pretty shit experience.
I had a really bad experience, and it's taken a lot for me to even talk about it because the duty of care was horrendous. So this would have been season 2.
So season 2, who was in season 2?
There was Scott Thomas, KD, all that kind of Alex Bowen and
Oh yeah,
Liv and
Olivia.
everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Early days.
early days. I did Take Me Out the year before. I'd been contacted to do Love Island, and basically I got flown over to the villa.
So I didn't know this, but you told me that they were doing, before everyone went into the house, there was like a pre-production run through practice. And this is crazy because you don't think that any of this happens.
Because it was such a new series, the production team needed to test out what the house was going to be like, what the people were going to be like, who were going to come in.
So you were there to test
I was
Love
basically
Island?
testing it, yeah. In the villa, we went to the villa. The girls were really lovely girls, actually, and it's quite nice because I still see, you know, them doing similar things. One of them went into it in the end as well. But what happened after, I think, it just really ruined everything I thought of TV.
So let's get into it. So
Yeah.
you are there, you're practicing, and there's one day where they've got you out in the sun all day doing this practice challenge.
Yeah, so we go into the villa.
Yeah.
And they bring the guys out like you would. You know, we're all stood there. The guys
Step
choose
forward
you,
if you
step
fancy
forward.
this person.
So I did. So I got matched up with a guy. All good.
What was he like?
Not my normal type.
Okay.
But, you know,
I'm dying to ask more on that, but okay, I think I know what you mean. Go on.
It's not my normal type.
Okay.
But it's what, you know, it's tall. Kind of go with it. It's a practice run, you know?
Yeah.
There's not going to be love in my life, is there? Or, I mean, it could be, but it wasn't going to be. Within an hour, I just started being sick.
Oh God, there's a running theme here, Kayleigh. So you're being sick because you've been out in the sun?
Been out in the sun, yeah.
Okay.
I'm quite a sicky person, really. But, yeah.
You had sunstroke?
I had sunstroke. I got sunstroke. And if you've had sunstroke, you know how horrific it is. The sickness, just the dizziness. I was out. I just went white and I was out. I had to
Did
go.
they get you a medic?
They had a medic on site then,
Okay.
yeah, because they've always had
Basic,
medic,
yeah.
basic, yeah. And they sent me to bed. I had to sleep it off.
Yeah.
Forced myself to be sick, sleep it off, fine. And then they came to see if I was all right in the evening. During this time as well, obviously everyone's getting on. You know, doing what producers ask them to.
Yeah, of course,
just
you're getting a
living
bit of
the life.
FOMO as well. It's kind of
So
like, I'm
on
going to
being
get left on the
sick.
side.
Yeah, so I get up, try and make my way downstairs to the villa.
This is where it gets really bad.
It's really, I'm laughing because if not, I'd cry. They'd obviously painted the whole of the villa.
Brand new villa.
Wet paint. This little girl here, obviously very disorientated still because I've been sick, fell down the stairs.
Wet paint
stairs.
With no sign.
Slipped. I broke my foot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I broke my foot. 2 places, actually. When I say the pain, even because I was ill anyway, it was like I've never broken anything in my life. And I'm a model, that's what I use my feet to work, you know.
Not just a feet, but you need to be able to
walk. Yeah. And I remembered it was like, oh, are you all right? Like, can you carry on? So I was like, yeah, I'm sure I'll be all right. Thinking I just sprained it.
Also, the fact that you were young, you were vulnerable, you're away from home, you've been sick all day, you feel dizzy. Like, that's such a horrible position to be in. You don't know anyone. And then you've broken your foot, which I'd imagine was quite visually obvious. And they've said, are you okay to carry on?
Yep.
Probably not.
Absolutely not. And I did a little bit because there's like, do you need taken to the hospital? I said, I don't think so. It's okay. They looked, there was nothing. But you know, if you've ever broken a foot or sprained a foot, it actually just starts to swell and bruise. So I went to bed that night.
You went to bed?
Yeah, in agony. I was in agony.
Again. Sorry. Are you in bed with this guy?
Well, yeah, this is what I was going to say. God. So this is where it goes from kind of bad to worse. And this is what I really didn't want to be speaking about too much on. But that night, I've been poorly, literally, like physically, mentally, like ill. And someone gets a bit hands-on in the sleep next to me.
In their sleep?
In their sleep. So then I get woken up with that, you know.
What, he was trying to touch you up?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
I get the producers coming to me. Are you okay? I just seen that, like, was everything okay? And I said, no.
So did you say to him at the time, stop it, I don't want you to do that?
Just kind of stopped. Just
right.
pushed off, stopped.
And they've watched it on the cameras?
Yeah, they've just seen that. You know, it weren't fully, just a little bit.
No, but
a touch is a touch. If I touch you...
Well, you'd given him no indication that you wanted that.
No, I mean,
You're not kissing in bed and progressing.
No, none of that. There was nothing like that at all. I mean, like I said, I'd been sick all day and just broken my foot. Let me tell you, I was out. I was sparked out.
One thing I will say is it shows how far we have come, because I think conversations, particularly when we were young, there weren't those conversations about consent. And I'd imagine now, as a man, particularly going into Love Island, you will be schooled on consent and how important it is.
Nothing like that. I think you can see from what happened on them seasons so early on, there was no duty of care.
Of course. Yeah. Love Island got an awful lot of backlash for...
And rightly so.
Let's just call it as it is, for people taking their own lives.
The thing is, I wish now that I would have spoken up about this a long time ago, because... you know, these young people that have gone on this thinking it's all great. It's not. There's only a number of people that have been successful from the show. And just because I didn't go back into it and it happened to me, that success, I'm so fucking glad I didn't, because honestly, after that happened, the producers came and asked me and said, did you say yes? I said, no. Are you okay? And then the next morning, I think he tried to crack on with a friend. And one of the producers, I swear to God, said to me, oh, he's chatting up your friend. Do you want to go and have a chat with him? Because of what happened last night.
Trying to create a story.
Trying to create a fucking story from what happened of a little slight touch on the side of my skin. Are you joking?
Whilst you've got heat stroke and a broken foot.
It's horrendous. You couldn't write that. That's 3 really bad things. So,
Love Island, ladies and gentlemen.
That is really... And like I say, I've never ever spoke about this because... it was just something I put in the back of my head. I always kind of thought, oh, maybe...
It's trauma.
So I fucking hate the show. I can't stand it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you watch the show?
No. And when I tell you, because I've done a lot of work on myself, I've had to go to so much therapy about it. In general, just even getting my head around the TV situation, because I've been offered so many other things since, and I weren't able to do it. I was traumatised by it. And also, when I got sent home with a broken foot on my own, by the way.
Did you have surgery?
No, I didn't have the surgery. No, because they were going to have to break my foot.
Right.
Because it had healed.
Right.
In that time, I got sent back on a flight back to Manchester on my own with a broken, what I could just say, like a club foot. I went to the and then I had to get another flight back to, I think it was Cyprus. I was going to my friend's wedding. And my friend took me, it was her wedding, took me to the hospital there. And they said, you broke your foot, we're going to have to break it. And I said, absolutely not, because they'd left it that long. I was fucked. Do you know the thing is as well? I could have sued them. 1,000,000% could have sued them.
Why didn't you?
Because I didn't want the hassle. I was scared as a young girl and vulnerable, I suppose, and a bit naive to think maybe if I want to do more TV, you're going against ITV. It's huge. You can't do that. But I've learned now that should have been spoken about straight away. I dug that so deep down because it traumatised me. I can't watch it now at all. I can't watch it at all.
I think that's such, just a tangent slightly, but it's such something about our industry that we don't talk about, and it's a bit of a dark side where there's awful things that happen, and on a much lighter level, but like invoicing and it taking 7 months for big clients to pay and things like that don't get spoken about because models, photographers, makeup artists, creatives don't want to rock the boat and upset the client. And it's the same with what you just said. You can't talk about the negative experience because you won't get booked for something else. And it's such bollocks because then these clients continue to get away with it.
Well, I mean, look at what's happened now. Everything from the BBC, ITV, everything. It's all coming out now, you know, about dodgy producers and things like that. And it should be spoken about. If you've gone through a situation like that where you felt uncomfortable and it wasn't right, that was not okay what happened to me. And I don't know if it's happened to anybody else. I can't imagine all 3 things happened to somebody, what happened to me. But I really wish I'd have spoke out about it earlier because I don't want to work with people that accept that anyway.
No.
And I did ask to go on it. That's the thing. I did ask to go on it after. And I was like, no, 3 things have happened that's just literally ruined me. I couldn't work for months or, you know, it really set me back. And I'm talking years, actually, mentally. Because it scarred me. It really did. And they did that. And like I say, they asked to go back again, I think the year after, on the Olivia Atwood's one. And I was just like, no. The only reason they'd have probably asked is to probably shut me up as well, let's be honest.
And here we are.
I didn't anyway. I didn't speak about it, but it's what happened. It was bad. None of the producers or anybody is part of that show now. I know that.
Completely different team now.
One of my best friends is a producer on the show now.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's completely different. I know that. And things have come so far. And I'm so glad and I'm so grateful it has for the contestants because I wouldn't want what happened to me to happen to anybody.
No, and from what I understand, it is a completely different show now, even in terms of the format of it.
Yeah.
They don't show people having sex. They don't ply them with alcohol. There's a lot of things where they've put in place safeguarding. But it's still important to talk about your experience. So then coming out of Love Island, you didn't do any reality TV for years, but then you got approached to do the most recent show that you did, which was a show, and it's a shame really, because it's called Written in the Stars. And it was such a cool concept about matching people based on the horoscopes.
Concept, yeah.
But it didn't get picked up by the right channel, and so it didn't really take off, and most people probably haven't heard of it. But it was brilliant. So tell us about your experience in Written in the Stars.
So Written in the Stars came around about 3 years ago it will be. And again, I'd been asked to do all these different shows, and I was like, no. There was just something about this show that really spoke to me. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew.
All my friends are coupled up. I am the only single one. I'm ready to meet somebody and I want to settle. I want someone to grow with. I think I'm a great catch. I've got a lot to give.
They don't tell you what it's about. You know, like X on the Beach?
Yes.
For instance, I was offered on that as well.
And there was another one on Netflix that's like that, and they got there and they were like, oh my God, we didn't know this one.
Yeah.
Oh, where they can't have sex. Too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle. Yeah. So you can have an inkling, but not fully, you don't fully know.
Yeah.
You know. So I didn't have a clue what I was going into. But at the time, that's when my kind of healing journey had started. I was really thick into it. I'm a really spiritual person anyway.
So where was this one filmed?
This was filmed in Greece.
Oh, gorgeous.
The ladies that produced this, I absolutely adored them. They, from the beginning, just really looked after everybody on that show. And even I remember when we was in the hotel beforehand, because there was like, some of you might not make it. I was thinking, I'm definitely making it, me, because I just knew. Do you know what? Let me just tell you this. I've not told you this. I was in the hotel room. So you had like 3 days where you weren't allowed to speak to anybody or leave the hotel room.
Oh,
I know.
Christ, it's giving COVID.
Yeah, it basically was like
Yeah.
that. And I was thinking, oh God, I don't know if this is for me. Is it gonna happen again? What happened before? You know, I was starting to really panic, and I was going into a proper meltdown. I'd put the TV on, and it was literally like Greek music. This advert comes on, and it's me on the advert for Sensodyne.
No way.
I swear to God. And I'd filmed that advert in Greece the year before.
I thought you were going to say, where's my usage? That's been on more than a year.
No, but I was like, that's my sign.
Yes.
And it was just me, like, brushing my teeth on a Sensodyne advert. And it was obviously filmed in Greece. And I was like,
I love
oh my
that.
God, that's my sign. I should be doing this.
Yes.
And this is going to be different.
Love it.
But honestly, the ladies were amazing. Couldn't thank a better production team. All of them were incredible. And it's just really sad that it didn't actually get where it needed to be, because that could have been bought by Netflix or anything and could have continued. It would have been a fantastic show. We went on the show not knowing what the hell was happening.
And what was it about?
So it was about matching birth charts.
Oh, yes, okay.
So we were matching our birth charts.
Hang on, tell people what birth charts are, because people won't even know what it is.
So, you talk about horoscopes, and your birth charts are basically where you were born and when over the world, basically, where the planets were aligned.
Based on the time,
location,
and date of when you were born.
So that's your full birth chart, because, horoscopes are just your star sign, right? So
who'd you get matched with?
I got matched with a lovely guy called Toby, who is now...
I'm laughing because Toby...
Toby is a bit of surf.
He's not a bit of you, I'll tell you that for
free.
free.
Not my type at all, no. Great guy, and we got on really well, but not my type at all.
And now he's on Gladiator.
So I'm looking for someone who's a bit witty. I'm looking for someone who has empathy, with a kind heart. I'm here definitely to find someone who's my soulmate. I'm open to being with one person for the rest of my life.
I'm staying very quiet, but...
Now he's on Gladiator.
Yep.
What is he called on Gladiator? I should know this.
Anyway.
The Python.
No, he's not.
It's not.
Kayleigh! Okay, no comment.
I think what is
Did
he
you
called?
touch his willy?
No.
Don't know why I've just called it a willy. I was trying to make it more PC. It's because you called it a python. I felt like I needed to go willy so we meet in the middle. Did you touch his dick?
That. But
Did you have sex with him?
No, no.
So you got paired with Toby, who we've just Googled. Is not called a python, he was called...
It's called the Phantom.
The Phantom?
Yes,
Okay,
it's called the
Phantom.
Phantom. If you want to have a Google. I love just Sophie's face here.
My face not saying anything.
Yeah. It's a very beautiful specimen.
You got paired with a lovely looking man called Toby.
Yeah,
and how
nice
did
guy.
that go? Was your birth charts love at first sight?
So I'm a Pisces.
Yes. What's he?
He is a Libra.
Oh.
But I'm a Cancer and Taurus rising, so very different. We basically had 3 astrologers, experts.
Yes.
And dating experts, there, which were amazing. Honestly, when I tell you, that was my favourite bit about the show, apart from obviously meeting amazing people, but was the astrologers. We had like one-on-ones with them daily, and we had like intimate chats as a couple. We got really deep. It was a lot of therapy, which we love therapy. There's a lot of therapy between us and just trying to get deep on what we were matched on. Very interesting, very, very interesting. And I think if people watched it, they'd be interested because as well, it was about resonating with your own signs, because they spoke about that on the show. And we had a lovely couple of weeks, well, a month together, actually.
A month?
We spent a month together, yeah. We
Christ.
stayed right till the end because we developed a really nice friendship.
So you guys sounds like you had an emotional connection, but not necessarily the physical.
Yeah, we didn't.
Did any of the couples like really connect?
Yeah, well, yeah. So there was 4 of us in the end.
Yeah.
All of them connected.
They all had sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Are any of them still together?
No. And I'll
Okay.
tell you something. This is what because I loved the guys in the show. There's a very big difference between the girls and the guys on the show. And I think
Quality.
it showed at the end of how they ended it with the girls promptly.
Oh, I want to watch it now.
Fucking great show. It's a great show. It's just such sad because actually, I thought that people were authentic, but they are authentic, but everybody kind of went in for their own reason, and that's fine. And you see from where the people are now and what they're doing, I don't know, where's your true intentions? I don't like that sort of stuff. Even though I've gone onto a TV show based on love, I'm still there with the right intentions. I will never shit on somebody, and I would never try and hurt somebody.
Sorry.
Not actual shit on somebody, but
You said it.
I know, I've never shit on somebody. But I've just got, and the girls did, such a beautiful hearts. Them girls, to this day, are my friends.
Yeah, I love
Very
that.
close. I actually really want to get the girls on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great girls for the show.
How was your overall experience of television this time round then?
Incredible. They looked after me so much. Do you know even the signatures when it was to do with consent and touching and things like that?
As it should be.
absolutely. Like, I couldn't
Because you
wish
do
for a
very
better
physical
team.
challenges and things
Very
like that.
physical. You're in a room with somebody as well. Like, it doesn't matter how much you vet somebody. Sometimes you don't know how people are going to react, and you're in the same room with that person.
And also,
you
it
have to feel
depends on the
safe.
day. If you're playing a game and you don't feel like you want that kind of interaction, you should be able to say no.
Exactly.
Like-
and it was, honestly, it was such an incredible show. I just wish that everybody could have watched it and it could have taken on and to different seasons, because it was a really good show, really good concept. And like I say, everyone was really real and raw, and maybe that's what the problem was as well. Because we all ended up getting on really well, and people
No
don't want to see that. People
drama.
want drama. But actually, we were adults, and as well, I think it showed with the age. You know, it's from 25 to 35. Big age difference there. It's not like Love Island when you're 18 and talking absolute bullshit. Like, conversations, I can't stand it. Like, what are these conversations? We had genuine intellectual conversations, which people probably don't want to listen to.
No, it's not the
Do you know?
drama that
No
people are looking for.
drama. And it was lovely, and it was a great show to be on, and it really just made me see TV differently, and it has changed. And
So it's called Written in the Stars, and where can people watch it if
on
they want to?
Discovery.
On Discovery.
I think he's on Hey You now as well.
Amazing.
But I mean, yeah, Google it, Written in the Stars TV show. It was a really good show.
And this was the first TV show that you've done in this era of social media. So what was the social media response like?
It was very hit and miss. I think we expected to get a bit more publicity from it.
Yeah.
Not as in,
Did your
like,
following grow?
Yeah, my following did grow a little bit, but like it was more, I think, because the production went a different way to what it was originally planned to be. And I don't think, for instance, Discovery took it to where it was supposed to
No.
be. They had bigger shows that they were concentrating on, and that's, you know, that's cool. Like we were watching the show with Universal, and there was talks about all the people picking it up. But unfortunately, they were in a contract and they couldn't break it.
In terms of the response on social media, like, did you get backlash? Did you get hatred? Did you get
No,
trolled?
I got really, really good response.
Oh, amazing.
And I don't think some people liked that as much because they got seen in a very different light.
Which is what I touched on before. You're going to get painted in whatever light you like.
But it was the light that was shown that was true.
Okay.
And if you watched it, you know, you saw me probably going through a bit of my ups and downs because I wasn't feeling the way I should have probably been feeling on the show. And I got a really good response. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We did awards right at the end, I'll just say. We did awards at the end. The two most authentic were me and my best friend in there, with Kel.
I love that.
Both Northern girls, and it's true because we were.
I do love a
And I
Northern
think,
girl.
the thing is, I do think, as much as you can be painted the baddie, if you are a twat, you will, in some sort of way, it will come across.
Absolutely.
There was nothing that you could have got from us that would have been that bad or negative because we're not them people. And I think authenticity pays off in the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in terms of body image and body
Yeah.
confidence, because obviously watching yourself on TV, there used to be that whole thing, do you remember everyone used to be like, oh, the TV makes you gain 10 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
But there was just such a negative conversation
Yeah.
around that. So how was it watching yourself back? Particularly in Written in the Stars, you're very stripped back, you look absolutely gorgeous, but it's like most of the days you've got no makeup on, it's just you chilling.
Just walking around in a bikini.
Yeah, and then also
yeah.
Take Me Out, obviously where you were a lot more made up by the incredible hair and makeup artists. How do you feel watching yourself back on those two shows?
So it's interesting you say this because, again, with the whole Love Island thing and any sort of programmes that you watch now, do you ever see a curve model or a curvy girl on them shows?
Do you ever see cellulite?
No, you do not. And I think it's just the most ridiculous thing to be putting out there to the world that this is what is the normal.
Bodies.
And it's not. We all have cellulite. We have lumps and bumps. And if you don't, congratulations to you. You're probably
Good for you, girl.
unsustainable body image. It's just, so for me, when I watch myself as a fuller, curvier girl, at the time I was a bit like, oh God, I did, you know, but then you forget the cameras are there. You do forget the cameras are there.
Do
So I'm all
you?
waltzing around playing games. Yeah, we're playing games all the time, jumping into the pool. We were doing yogas, we were like running round. Like I felt when I watched it, I was really proud of that girl on the TV because
Yeah.
I could have just covered up and not felt comfortable, but
Was it empowering?
I felt really empowered, and I also felt like I needed to be on the show to do that for other curvier girls in general because we don't get that. So I was like, whatever comes of this show, at least I've been right. Okay, here I am. I'm a size 16 at the time I was, and this is who I am. And it's fine to be jiggling your tits around and your arse around and your cellulite,
Yeah.
jumping around, you know.
Representation matters, and I think
Yeah.
that's so great that you felt empowered rather than feeling
in the end.
anything less than or any sort of negativity.
Don't get me wrong, I watched it and I was like, critical. And the thing for me, the reasoning was, well, actually, do you know what? It's done now. And I was so happy filming it. And I was in such a good
Critical
place
of your
filming
body?
it. Critical of body, yeah. Because I don't see myself in a bikini all the time, especially on a big screen. I was watching it with all my friends and my family was like, ooh.
So in psychology,
Boobs
that's
out.
called exposure therapy. And I talk about this in my body confidence course, but this was one of the biggest ways I healed, because obviously my social media is all about body confidence and showing
Yeah.
every angle of my body. And sometimes just putting it all out there for everyone to see, it's like, well, they've seen the worst. Doesn't get any worse than that.
It does not.
But you're right, it's like you don't see yourself from that angle. You don't see yourself when you get out the pool and walk away and your knickers are up your bum and your back fat's there. And when you do, it's very confronting, but then it's like, oh well.
Yeah, well, it's
Crack
done
on
now.
with my day.
It's done, yeah. What's the worst that could happen there? That's
I
it.
want to circle back because you just said something really interesting. You forget about the cameras. Do you actually?
Yeah, I genuinely forget about the
I
cameras.
cannot imagine a world in which I'm on a TV show and I could for a second forget about the cameras.
You do? You just sat around.
you?
Well, you sat around just chatting away to your friends, you know? You just made this really good group of people.
And you're not
we
really conscious.
No, and we honestly had the best conversations, all of us. There was always something going on.
I feel like my neurospicy get me in so much trouble. I say so many things that you could not air.
I mean, babe, if I didn't, I'm sure you'd be fine. 'Cause, you know,
Final question.
Yeah.
Would you do any more reality TV and what would that look like for you?
for me, I wouldn't be doing anything to do with dating.
No?
No,
Oh,
because...
come on, take me out. It'd be so fun.
Take me out. They don't even do that anymore. Do you know what? The thought of a poor guy coming down to 30 women, would that be acceptable now? I mean,
True, actually. Catcalling him.
yeah.
I think it'd be fantastic.
I think it'd be fantastic too. But no, I don't think anything to do with dating I wouldn't do again.
Do you know what I'd like to do?
I don't know.
A place in the sun, you know, where they like help you buy a holiday overseas. That is about as much TV as you're going to get me doing.
You would be
unless
great
I'm presenting
at that,
it.
presenting it.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. You'd be great at presenting.
Yes,
you
manifest
wouldn't,
that.
You wouldn't do any reality
I'd be a
TV.
terrible contestant, wouldn't I? I'd be like, I don't like that production note. Can I just add this in here?
Yeah, you would.
I'd be
Yeah.
an
See, I'm very
absolute
easygoing.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think I was quite a good for them. But actually, do you know what? I wouldn't know. I don't know.
It would
It'd
take
have
the
to
right
be-
project.
It'd take the right project for me to do it. I think it would again be similar to you. Like I'd only probably host something or get involved with something that was bigger.
Also, we've got 10 seasons and millions of pounds to make with the podcast, so we'll just focus on that, yeah?
Let's focus on that, guys.
On
Yeah?
that note,
Well,
thank you
that's
so much
easy.
to today's guest, Kayleigh Hewitt. Thanks for
My
coming on. It's been a
guest.
pleasure having you.
That's hilarious. Thanks for having me, my darling Sophie. It's been great. Cheers to reality.
Cheers. Thanks for listening to Curveball, the podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and watch us. Do all the things. We love you. We appreciate you.
We love your feedback, guys. Feel free to throw us a curveball of your own, and we'll see you next time.